What's up, everybody? What's going on? My name is Max Brown, back here with another breakdown for you. This week looking at Alabama receiver Devonta Smith. This video is being posted the morning before the national championship game, so hopefully it's a little preview of the national championship game, but it's also going to be a look back on the Rose Bowl against Notre Dame, looking at all seven impact plays from that game, all involving Devonta Smith. And I'm going to show you how STEVE SARKISIAN, the offensive coordinator, soon to be head coach of Texas, uses number 6, the Heisman Trophy winner, number 6, Devonta Smith. If this is the first time you're checking out my channel, my name is Max Brown, former quarterback at USC and Pitt, now a college football analyst, also breaking things down on YouTube. At the end of this video, if you liked it, would really appreciate a like down below. It really helps these videos get off the ground, and hit the subscribe button as well. Now, this breakdown has a unique place in my football brain, I guess you could say, because STEVE SARKISIAN's my old play caller. He gave me my first offer back in the day, and he was also my my head coach and offensive coordinator, I guess. Not offensive coordinator. T. Mart was offensive coordinator. But he called my plays at USC. So I at least know how he thinks about things. I know how he tries to get his star players open. When I was playing, it was Marquise Lee, or I guess when I was a backup, it was Marquise Lee. We had Nelson Aguilar. Juju Smith-Schuster was there. At the time, his name was just Juju Smith. But things have changed, but it's also cool to see how STEVE SARKISIAN's offensive style has adapted over the times as well. But without further ado, I got 7 plays for you. Gonna break down each and every one of them, show you how STEVE SARKISIAN uses Devonta Smith, what makes number 6 so special, and ultimately, what led to him getting the Heisman Trophy. Let's check out the first play.
Try to give the offense trouble. Quick throw. Here is Devonta Smith. Goodbye. Farewell. Touchdown. Makes the perfect read. There's only 2 defenders. You can count on Devonta Smith to make one guy miss. That's Clarence Lewis, the freshman.
So right away, I love this call by Sark. Early on in the game, early on in the first quarter, it's an easy way to get your premier playmaker the football. Alabama's just going to short motion Devonta Smith down. And anytime you see that short motion, right, the average football fan kind of just sees it and thinks it's just a little, he's moving in 5 yards, like whatever. But it's not whatever. It's very calculated in an offensive coordinator's mind, and especially a quarterback's mind as well. And you do it for kind of 2 reasons. One is to tell the quarterback, use it as a data point, and tell the quarterback, hey, is this man coverage or is this zone coverage? Based off how the defense reacts, that can tell you a lot. The second reason, and I come from kind of the Lane Kiffin, the STEVE SARKISIAN, the Clay Helton kind of thought process of calling plays. And I know they did it because when you have premier receivers, it's a great opportunity to soften up these coverage. When you move a receiver off his spot, the corner has to move with him. And naturally, when that happens to defensive backs, they soften up. That's just the reality of kind of how defensive football works. It's hard to get a motion and stay really tight because you might have to run over or behind different coverages, and so naturally just defenders get a little softer. So that's why you would do it. And anytime, and you'll mostly notice it with stud receivers, premier, you're the dude receivers, they'll do this. You won't always have kind of a random guy doing this type of motion. There's a rhyme and reason to it. Always kind of keep an eye on that. The second thing is this concept's just a simple 2-man game. It's really 2 versus 2. That's why I didn't even draw the rest of the defense, because it doesn't even matter. With this soft coverage from the corner and the inside leverage from the will, I purposely drew it kind of inside shade of the Z. Right away, this 2-man game is easily won by Alabama. Soft coverage by the corner makes it tough to defend Devonta, and I'll just write 6 here instead of X. And then the inside leverage allows the Z to get a block easy, and that's just easy pitch and catch. It's certainly a luxury for Sark to have that ability to do that, the playmakers that he has with this Alabama roster, and that's kind of the third point right here. How would you stop that if you're Notre Dame? You have to allocate another defender to move him outside to help with things. If you move the defender outside this way, that might allow your will to take more of an outside leverage, or you would have to have your corner be more physical and be tighter in this ballgame. That's a common theme you're going to see with a lot of these plays, is these defensive backs for Notre Dame, they're so scared of getting run past by Devonta Smith, by these playmakers, that they're playing very soft. And then the Alabama run game with Najee Harris, it makes it hard to have the ability to bring another defender and help with this pass coverage out here. So simple numbers game, simple 2-on-2 matchup right there. Alabama, Coach Sark, Mac Jones, Devonta Smith, they take advantage.
They'll go to the pistol now with Harris, the running back. Jones Spinning and faking and completing to Devonta Smith.
That's what makes him special. The ability to sink his hips, get in and out of breaks, and come back and make...
This second play, I don't even need to drop. It's not even an X's and O's things. I just wanted to show you guys it's another way that Sark's able to use Devonta Smith. So right there, they motion him in, use him on a little bubble screen on the first play. The second play, which you just saw, that's more traditional. Your best dude. Put him into the boundary. It's one-on-one, X receiver versus a corner. That's more of kind of a traditional way you see a premier receiver used, where it's just good on good. Someone's going to win. It's just kind of like running one-on-ones with your buddies, running routes in the offseason type thing. The thing I want to note as well, the corner doesn't even touch Devonta Smith. That's how you know the guy's special. He's able to close the grass quickly with that DB. But he, no exaggeration, literally, I don't think touches Devonta Smith on this play while he's running the route. Obviously, at the end of the play a little bit. Six is a special player. You can see it right there. Hard to get your hands on him. A lot of fear in those Notre Dame defensive backs. Let's check out the third play right here.
Travis Etienne and Breece Hall, the other finalists. Play fake by Jones. Has him in wide open. Jaleel Billingsley, another Bama touchdown.
He's going to cross to the other side of the field, and he's going to be wide open. Play action. Where's Devonta? We got him covered. Uh-oh, nobody on Billingsley.
All right, the ESPN TV copy covered this touchdown. It was well documented. I'll add my own little flair a little bit. Right here, it's a bunch formation set by Alabama. Najee Harris is in the pistol. Devonta Smith out here. His impact is still felt on this play. Even though he doesn't catch the touchdown, he is the reason this play comes open because he gets so much attention. But it's just a two-man route concept. They're going to give a play fake like it's a downhill left-sided run. That play fake is a huge reason why this play is successful. Defensively, I'll admit, I'm not sure exactly the positions of these guys because Notre Dame's a little slow to get lined up, and so it's kind of Sam and Mike, but these guys appear to be pretty interchangeable, so just take that with a grain of salt. But right here, the main thing I want to point out is, yes, Devonta Smith, he runs both the corner and the free safety out of this play. Rightfully so, he's a big-time playmaker. If this corner was a better player or Devonta Smith wasn't as good, maybe this corner doesn't attach with him the whole way and is able to drop off into this section and defend against this play. I can't blame Notre Dame for sticking with six, and so both the corner and safety are out of the play. From there, the reason this play is made is because of the Mike's action. This downhill play fake to the left right here, you got Harris coming downhill. This Mike takes a hard step down, really looking at this front side A gap right here. And as a result, he does not even touch this Z receiver coming from right to left. By not rerouting, by not getting any hands on right here, it's an easy release right here for the Z, and he's able to get to that zone very quickly. If you weren't as afraid of this run, this would allow this backer to get hands on, and it might take a longer route to get over there, which in turn would help this strong safety who's coming down and defending against the run. It would give him more time to get back into coverage. And he attempts to do that, right? He realizes it's a play fake after the initial ball fake, and he's trying to drop under that, trying to get under this over route coming from right to left, but he's just too late to get over there. Ultimate team sport, right? Mike's got to help out the strong safety. Two opposite ends of the field might not appear like they roll together, and when you see a touchdown deep over here, you're thinking, oh, maybe the corner or the safety messed up kind of thing. Yes, they certainly could have helped this play, but the big portion is right here on the Mike and not allowing the strong safety to read and then react back into coverage. Credit Alabama. It's a luxury of having a big-time running game, the luxury of having a big-time playmaker outside, and then everyone gets to eat. As a result, touchdown Tide.
Irish showing blitz. They brought pressure. Jones threw away from it to Devonta Smith.
Now, you wonder where Devonta Smith improved from last year to this year.
We've seen this action before, right? Very similar to the first play we broke down. It's the sign of a great offensive coordinator. Some of the best play callers that I played for, they're not afraid to come back to something that worked before. And this looks very easy, and the reality is it kind of is. But I feel like so often in the football world, when you're calling plays, it's like, all right, I called that. Check that one off. We did that one. When you talk about scripting plays, if it works, don't be afraid to come back to it. And this one, it's the same thought process. It's a different formation. It's a different action, but it's the exact same thought process. This time, instead of a motion from outside to in, they're going to go across the football right here. Devonta Smith's in the slot, and then he comes over to give it kind of a bunch formation action. 3 receivers to this side, or I guess a tight end and 2 receivers. And once again, Notre Dame, very soft in coverage. Poor arrow draw right there. Very soft in coverage. That's a big reason why this play is able to happen. This corner, very soft. This safety is getting back there, and this Sam is beat on leverage right away. To give the full picture, this end, he could be involved in it. You can see sometimes ends go east to west and work this way. Not this end. This end's coming up the field right away, and as a result, he's out of the play just like that. From there, the Z is the point man. Z is able to block this Sam right away. This inside leverage is a big factor right there. If he's outside leverage, that could be a different ball game, but the reason you don't go outside leverage right there is then it'd be easier to do just more traditional run game with Najee Harris going that way. And so defensive backs are soft. Z gets his block right there. Y is able to kick out the corner, and then it's a one-on-one game with Smith over here and this strong safety. It's a drill that receivers and DBs run all the time. Kind of this tunnel drill right here. Strong safety, you got to make a tackle. The way you defend this play better, I guess you could say, is having this corner be more physical, but that's a tough ask for any corner on a tight end body, especially it being an Alabama tight end. Corner more physical, or the Sam more physical. Can't get beat by a receiver right there, but this guy right here, one-on-one, alley tackle, can you make a play? He doesn't right there. The next step up is you're asking this safety to be a dude and to make a play, to read, react, pull the trigger, get downhill, know what's coming and make a play. That obviously doesn't happen. That's a tall order. Before it was a 2-man game, well, 2 versus 2. Now it's 3 versus 3. These 3 receivers on the Sam corner and strong safety out there. Alabama and Devonta Smith win it once again.
Of this season. Fake to Najee Harris, and the quick strike to Devonta Smith. And he
to stop the run, and he just raises up and throws the quick slant to Devonta Smith.
So we've seen Sark use Devonta Smith in a couple different ways. Through the bubble screen, traditionally on the outside. Now here's kind of the third way, as a slot receiver in the RPO game. And don't get me wrong, Devonta Smith, hell of a player, probably gonna be the first receiver off the board, Heisman Trophy winner. Don't get me wrong, that's all great. But this play is an example of the luxury of being on an Alabama offense where defensively, your biggest concern is stopping the run. Your biggest concern isn't necessarily stopping 6, which it would be for most Heisman receivers. And that's to take nothing away against Smith, but here's exactly what I'm talking about. Alabama's so worried about the run game that these linebackers are gonna react so hard to any run fake. And that's ultimately what opens up this play. This Will linebacker right here and the Mike, but this Will linebacker, his body language is the reason this play happens. Outside of the yards after catch. Yards after catch, yak, that's all Devonta Smith. But the completion itself, the second Mac Jones holds this ball out, this Will is screaming down to the run game. And that opens up this void right here to get this RPO slant. If this is the first factor, the second factor is this strong safety's body language. He is outside leverage, outside edge of Devonta Smith. And so right when Devonta Smith closes that grass, he's able to cut and get open. And it's a relatively easy completion, especially on an RPO action from Mac Jones. Not taking anything away from 6. He closes this gap. He puts a lot of pressure on this strong safety. But this play is made right away. When the Will comes down, Mac Jones knows he's pulling this rock, giving an accurate throw, and then Devonta Smith makes his money and goes for 6. Once again, the luxury of having a lot of playmakers in this Alabama offense.
Dry land.
Irish fans hoping for a stop. Mac Jones completes to Devonta Smith.
Dry land.
Irish fans hoping for a stop. Mac Jones completes to Devonta Smith.
There's a lot to nerd out on this play. There's more to it than originally kind of meets the eye. First off, it's 3rd and 7. And I didn't draw the whole picture, 1, because it's kind of hard to follow in the TV copy. And then 2, it doesn't really matter because I just want to focus on this action. But it's 3rd and 7. That's when kind of defenses can throw a lot at you. They can throw normal coverage at you. They can bring a bunch of pressure. They can go man. There's a lot of different things that they can do. I love how Sark goes empty. I love answers. And when you go empty formation, that just inherently means you're going to have more receivers in the scheme, which leads to more answers, which gives Mac Jones more freedom to take the ball where he needs to go. That freedom's great, but just off sheer football knowledge, this position right here, the interior slot in empty formation, can get the football a lot just based off the different coverages that defenses can give you. In this look, you're going to get a lot of man coverage. 1 high man or 2 man. You could even get like a 3 double cloud action, and a lot of those coverages are very conducive for dialing up this slot receiver. And don't get me wrong, I know you can dial up other receivers in man, but just how schemes and plays are called, this guy can be kind of the dude very often. So I love that they brought Devonta Smith inside on this play. On this side, I can't tell what the route concept is. I can't really tell what the coverage is, so I'm not going to guess. But on here, from Notre Dame's vantage point, they're saying, hey, we're going to move things around. We're going to try to mix up the picture for Mac Jones, and we're going to try to be a little bit innovative. But that innovation caught them red-handed in this play because they kind of got too cute. They're moving guys around. 3 Alabama receivers out here. I believe this is a tight end body. And you have 1 and then 2 guys interior. Like, you're out leveraged from the start. So it's no secret why Mac Jones' eyes come out this way. They are dialing up Devonta Smith. They are putting him on a 10-yard out route at 3rd and 7 to go get the sticks. And why I love this 10-yard out route is because first 2 man, this is a winner. He'll have inside leverage. He can break out. This concept clears everything on this side, and there becomes a huge kind of void right there. If this was just man free, he's also going to have a one-on-one matchup with the body right here. This coverage is unique in that this linebacker, he knows he's out leveraged. He knows he's tucked in. So he screams out this way to cover kind of this flat and this little out route right here. But by him being out here, and now the linebacker's out here, now this leverage is extremely favorable. You have an off safety, inside leverage. All it takes is Smith to kind of push his leverage against him and then break out and make something happen right there. That is very easy. You can see it here with the more of a man look on this side. Very similar picture. You'll see guys like George Kittle and Travis Kelce for tight ends in this 3rd and 7 range because of the frequency and man coverage and trying to pick out one defender, use his leverage against him, break out, hit a timed route right there on an out route, catch the ball, get the first down. Very good concept. Love bringing Smith inside to the slot. All right, so at this point we look at 6 different plays, all of which Devonta Smith is the focus. How has Sark used him? 2 bubble routes, 2 running routes in the slot, and really being a weapon there. 1 of which was an RPO, 1 of which was an empty formation, and then 2 on the outside. Why I did this X right here is, from my vantage point, I'm not sure exactly how Alabama calls it, but he uses the X receiver in that he's into the boundary there. And so there's 2, 4, 6 plays here. The 7th play is also going to be on the outside, but now he's going to be on the Z receiver. So he's going to be to the strength of the formation. He's going to be with other receivers, and we'll see how Sark dials up a dagger concept to get his dude a dig route.
It is the pistol. Mac Jones faked it to Najee Harris, lofts one down the middle, and what a catch.
Because Mac Jones, his arm was hit right as he threw it. But Devonta Smith was still able to go up and collect the football.
First off, this is a big-time throw by Mac Jones. He deserves a lot of credit on this play, but there's also an element of trust to it, right? With pressure in his face, he knows that he can throw it into a little bit of a murky window, knowing that 6, and I'll do the jersey number deal, is going to get up and make a play for him. Concept-wise, Alabama is going to run fake this once again, downhill here, pull a guard from right to left, and they pick up this blitz successfully. This Notre Dame's Will, kind of shuffles down. He ends up coming. This left tackle goes man-to-man on the end, and then the pulling guard ends up getting the blitzing Will linebacker. As a result of the Will linebacker blitzing, something's got to adjust. Coverage has to adjust, and their adjustment is bringing this strong safety now into the box. This strong safety ends up running with the Z, and it knocks out both these guys in the concept. As a result of running these guys off, now there's a huge window right here, and that's ultimately where we saw the ball get completed. Love the route by Devonta Smith. That's one thing from doing these breakdowns. He gets in the grass and on top of the defender's cleats like that. He's fast. Yes, I know he's kind of skinny and slender at times, but he is making up that ground very quickly. And because of that, it instills a sense of fear in these DBs. We're like, we don't want to be deep. No DB wants to get run past. And so they're very soft. This safety might as well be out of the play. He's so far deep, he's not in a position to cover anything but a go route. He's not in a position to make a play on a dig route, and that's a big reason why this play ultimately works. This corner's also soft as well, but I mean, that's kind of the nature of the beast when you're facing a guy like Devonta Smith. Love the route, good concept. When Sark is in the booth calling this play, he is dialing up his guy. This route, 9 out of 10 times, is running off a defender, running off a safety, trying to clear the void for a dig route to come right behind it. This is a sheer dial-up play, dial-up 6, allow him to make a play. And because of that mindset, I think it's a big reason why Mac Jones was able to pull the trigger and trust it there. So nothing necessarily groundbreaking there with the concept, but I wanted to highlight it and break it down because it's another way that Devonta Smith is used in this offense. Because oftentimes in college football, with some of these receivers that are putting up big-time numbers in these air raid schemes, the reality is they're asked to do a lot of the similar stuff, right? They are an outside receiver doing fades, slants, comebacks, that kind of thing. Versus Devonta Smith, they move him around the park, slot, outside, empty formation. Kind of does it all for this offense. It's a great sign for any NFL team that gets him. But it's cool to kind of peel back the layers a little bit to see how Sark is handling and using formations and motions to his advantage to get his best playmaker the ball. That's the sign of a great offensive coordinator, is when the defense knows who you're trying to dial up and knows what you're trying to get going, can you find ways to still get your best players the football? Felt like Sark did a great job of that in the Rose Bowl. Will he be able to do that tonight in the national championship? I have a feeling he will be able to, because yes, they have 6, but they also got a few Heisman finalists in the backfield as well. So definitely a luxury there as an offensive coordinator. But this mindset, Sark's approach, big reason why he's been an attractive coach over the years and a good play caller. And we'll see if he can bring this to Texas a little bit. But with that, that's my breakdown on Devonta Smith and how he is used by Alabama offensive coordinator Steve Sarkisian. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button down below. Hitting the like button as well would be clutch. Share this with your friends, any football junkies you may know, and I'll be back next time for another breakdown. Thanks, guys.